Hi, this is Mr. V. Today we're going to be working in Revit for green architecture, and I'm going to teach you how to make some interior and exterior walls. Soon we're going to begin our shipping container home. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw one shipping container. They're 8 foot by 20 foot. So we're going to use a wall, and we're going to draw the interior walls first. Okay. Typically we've been drawing exterior walls. Your basic default is a basic wall, generic, 8 inches. We'll use something similar for that on the outside. So let's go, if you click the little drop down menu here. For our interior walls, I'd like for you to use the 4 7/8 of an inch. So let's click that. It changes to that. You're still on the wall tool. So it's 20 feet wide. If you drag it out, you can get it perfect. Or if you just type in 20 foot, same thing. 8 foot long, and we're going to box that off like so. So now we have a 20 by 8 shipping container. Okay, and we used interior walls. The first thing we always want to do, go and set our ceiling height. Okay, the default is 20 feet. We know that's way too tall. So let's hold Control, click those. And that has it as 10 foot. Let's make it 9 foot for this topic. Okay. So now I have interior walls on level 1. I'm going to zoom in so you can see that. Okay. That's our interior walls. So we're going to put our doors and things like that in later. To make the exterior, what you need to do, go back to wall. If we were doing a big house, you could use masonry, anything like that. We're doing a shipping container. So let's go with generic 6 inch. Okay, they're not super thick. I don't think they're 8 inches thick. And let's keep it basic, and later we'll add our material and make it a metal color. Okay. So now we got to come down here, and you can see I've came too high. I'm going to go ahead and draw it though. Let's see. Never mind. Okay. So let's draw that wall. If I said 6 inches, so our interior was 20 feet, we're going to add 6 inches to each side, so let's make it 21. And I got that to line up perfectly. Okay, so 21 foot. Okay, so now I have my exterior walls 21 feet. I'm going to move it over a little bit. There we go. We got some on each side. Same thing, let's draw our exterior from here as well. So this one should be 9 foot. It's fine. Stay connected there. We want 21 again. And you have to zoom in here. This takes a little bit of practice, because you want everything to line up. You can see I kind of have a little gap there. I can move that down to get it just about right where they're touching. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So I've got interior, exterior. When you go to your 3D view, your exterior, the default is 20. So for interior, it's 10 foot, exterior is 20. Again, hold Control. Go 9 foot here. And now you can see I've got 2 different walls. Okay, when I get into level 1, 2 different walls. Your shipping container, we're going to use anywhere from 4 to 8 of these 8 by 20s. But one thing I want you to keep in mind, when you start designing your individual bedrooms, bathrooms, things like that, you want to go back to the interior 4 7/8 inch, because we're inside the house. Okay, so let's say I made this corner a bedroom. Okay. Make sure you're using that interior wall, and you can still add your doors just like anything else. One thing I'll go ahead and tell you on the tiny house here, your doors, you're probably not going to want to use those really big ones, 36 by 84. Think about using one that's not as wide, maybe not as tall. So I'm going to go with a 30 by 8. and that gives you a little bit more room to get furniture in and things like that, because this house is going to be really tight even though you're using multiple shipping containers. So we've got an interior wall, we've got exterior walls. This will also make it easier for you when you go to decorating. You can paint the walls different colors like we've done with the flooring materials. You can just find a sample color and do that. Let's go to the outside. Okay, so to see how that wall's too tall, I've got to change that back to 9 foot. If that happens, just switch it to unconnected, then change your height. It keeps saying up to level 2. For this video, I'm not going to make a second level. If you stack a couple of containers, you can do that. So I've got one shipping container here. The interior is 8 foot by 20 feet, 160 square feet. I'm going to change the outside walls so that way you can tell the difference. And I'm not going to get a picture, I'm just going to use one of their default colors. Okay. Which they don't have many. Okay, so I'm going to use this yellow color for my exterior. And you can see I've changed my view to realistic. The exterior walls are yellow, the interior walls are gray. Eventually we can change that, and on your project you will do much more details. Another thing I've learned, when you're drawing your rooms inside, it's a lot easier to use the hidden line view compared to realistic, because it's just black and white. It's a little bit easier to see. So the first thing I want to do, I want to put a window in. Okay, and keeping it in that hidden line view makes it a little bit easier for these cuts. So here's my bedroom here. We want a window facing where we can get sunlight here. So we're going to go to Architecture, Window. I don't like that style. Let's go to Load Family. Find my windows. I like the casement 3x3 with trim. So I'm going to choose that. Okay. Now you got to be careful here. Windows are on the outside. Okay. So it's basing it off that interior wall. It's 8 foot. So I'm going to move that forward. See how the dimensions change. But remember, my exterior wall is bigger. But this line shows you it's centered. Okay. So there's my window. And here's where we're going to run into the problem. Okay. Windows on the outside. Can't see it on the inside. Okay. Because we've got two different walls. Your windows and doors and things like that, though, they do need to be mounted on the outside if it's getting in from the outside. Okay. So we've got a window. We can't see it. If you hover over the wall, you can see it. So let's go back to level 1. And I'm going to teach you how to cut that out. It's very simple to do. Okay. Go to Architecture. You've got some different things here. These are openings. Okay. You just click Wall, because we're going to cut a wall opening. Okay. I like to zoom in here and get it really close. Okay. And again, keeping it on the hidden line view makes this a lot easier. So get as close as you can to where that window starts. Click. Go up to where it ends. Click. And then it makes a little box for you. I'm going to draw that. And it's cut an opening there. Okay. Go back to 3D view. And I wish I could tell you that was perfect, but it's not. Okay. If you look down there, you see you have a big gap at the bottom where it's cut into the wall. So to fix that, you click on your cut, and it says top offset 8 foot, which is way too much. Okay. Bottom offset is nothing. That window is 3 foot by 3 foot, so let's put our base offset to 3 feet. And you can see it brought it up. That looks good. Okay. On the top, I think we got a little bit we need to change. So the top offset, it starts at 8 foot. Let's try 8 foot 6 inches. That's too much, because I'm using a 9 foot ceiling here. So 8 foot's too much. Let's try 7 foot, see what happens. Okay, dropped it down. I think that's a little much. Let's try 7.6. And then I'm going to switch back to the realistic view because I have yellow on the outside. And if I cut it too, you see how there's that little bit of hint of yellow? So 8.6 is a little much, or a little too lit, not enough. 7.6, sorry. Let's try 7'7". I don't want to see any of that exterior material. And that's too much. So I need to go down. This is some trial and error. 7'5". And that looks perfect. No yellow is peeking through on the inside. Okay? So now I've got exterior wall, interior wall. I've added a window. Okay? On this project, I want you to make, I want this to be your best work. So I want you to get really advanced here. This window is brown. That doesn't match with my exterior. Most windows are either white, tan, black, gray. So like we've done with other things, we can change the material. Obviously, we want glass. The sash is where the lines intersect. The trim material, I don't like that, so I'm going to change that. Let's see if we can find a white in here. Okay, so gypsum wallboard, let's see what that looks like. I got a feeling it's going to have a texture to it, and I'm not going to like it. Let's see what happens there. And it made it kind of gray, but that's okay. So now I need to change the sash material as well. Now if you wanted to get really creative and have like a white and then put some color that matches this, we can do that. So let's make that yellow where it matches the outside of the house. Because people get really creative when they're decorating these type of homes. Okay, and then let's see. So now I've got the inside of the windows yellow, the outside's a grayish white color. It just looks a little bit better. Okay. I'm going to go back to my hidden line. Double click on level 1. Let's put a door, entry door in as well. Okay, you want it on the outside. You're going to do another cut. And I made that too low. Okay, so I've cut that. Let's see how much of it cut away. Okay, so bottom looks good. Let's cut it all the way. Top, we got to fix that. Okay, so top offset 8 foot 6. 8 foot's too much. Let's try 7 foot. 5 inches. Got rid of that. Let's look at it in realistic. And that looks good. Okay. So now you can open the door and actually get into your house. So those are the cut commands. Colors and things like that. Be thinking about the colors you want to use for your windows, your doors, and the exterior house. It's going to be metal. Most of these are. If you want to put some wood siding or some vinyl siding, you can do that as well, like we've done on some of your other homes. Or if you want to do multiple colors, you can choose different materials and things like that. So that's how you do a cut command when you have interior and exterior walls, and we're going to do that on our tiny house, which is our final big project. Thanks.